Hey, everybody. If you're watching right now, this ad is brought to you by Cody D's. The Impromptu podcast is sponsored and brought to you by Cody D's. Thank you, Cody D's, for sponsoring this podcast. Without you, this would never happen. Hey, everybody. All right, cue the intro. If you're watching right now. Joe and Billy podcast. Joe and Billy. Joe and Billy podcast.
Hold on, I
Joe
hear you.
and Billy.
I hear you.
Thank you, Joe and Billy.
I hear you.
You hear it in the ears?
Yeah.
Shit. This is already going off with a hitch. Joe and Billy. There's one hitch.
It was really good.
Shit. All right. Back to okay. Wait. Okay. You can't hear me now, right? Everything's fine now, right?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. It's better now.
Okay. Hey guys. This podcast is brought to you by Cody D's. Cody D's. Brought to you by Cody D's.
If you ever need an RV driver, Cody D's is your guy.
If you ever need an RV driver, Cody D's is your guy. Now, cue the intro, boys. Joe and Billy podcast. Joe and Billy podcast. Every time you watch Joe and Billy, you have a good time on the podcast. Joe and Billy podcast. All right, guys, today's episode is an impromptu episode, so we haven't prepared anything for today. But don't fret. Joe is a wealth of knowledge, and I am a wealth of obesity jokes. Joe, do you want to start us off with something better than that?
Well, thank you. I just wanted to tell everybody the reason why a podcast will never work between me and William is he's an egotist, and so am I.
Yeah.
And there's no room. There's no room to do a good podcast together.
Yeah.
I've been willing to put myself down. William will not. In order to be a team, you have to share an identity to a certain degree. And William will not be comfortable sharing an identity with someone as such as me.
Yeah, and I think
too different fundamentally.
I think one of the big things there is that I have an identity, and it works with or without Joe. And when I bring Joe into worlds where my identity is established, he tends to destroy the foundations of those worlds. And I think that why a podcast with Joe and I would work is because he would be responsible for the foundation. And if he were to destroy it, he would be destroying himself instead of somebody else this time. Which I think is something that, is something Joe hasn't done yet. He hasn't been able to destroy his own creation.
Yes, I have. When Cody met us, for example, I was the host of the show in L.A. You were living up in Seattle. And when you came down and we started doing the RV trip together, you were constantly trying to steal it from me. And today you did an advice show, knowing that I just came back to roll call on Sunday, 2 days ago. You did the exact same format.
One of the cool things about that is that giving advice to people was Joe's invention, and me being Joe's roommate, I get to basically leech off of his invention, which is giving advice. That's really cool. I do appreciate, Joe, you inventing giving advice to people, because now that it's mine, I plan to be very successful with it.
I don't think anyone's ever claimed that I invented the thing. I think I think what the claim here is that you only started doing it once you saw it done by me.
No. But the cool thing is Joe's show was a call-in show, and I didn't have anybody call in. I was just utilizing my own talents to read the chat and have an open dialogue with the viewers. It was very different than Joe's podcast called Roll Call, available on the Drunken Peasants Podcast Network.
Oh, thank you. Yes, the reason why it won't work is Billy doesn't like to share. And sharing a team, sharing an identity, sharing a podcast is all about sharing. And Billy doesn't like to share.
This is fundamentally wrong. I share everything all the time. The problem is Joe doesn't like to succeed. So every time I share with Joe, he likes to destroy things. I could count off the times where I shared my access with Drunken Peasants, and he came in and picked a fight with one of the hosts and got kicked off of the show. and made things very awkward. I could pick the idea when I brought him into what was it, IRL streaming. I would do IRL streams with him, and rather than ever go out and do live streams of his own, he would just come into my bedroom and fuck with me in the house, which I didn't think was something I wanted to do. So I stopped playing ball and went out and did my own streams elsewhere. When I was doing my own streams, Joe would come into the streams and he would cause disarray that I didn't want involved on my streams. And I would say to him, if you want to do this stuff, start your own stream and do it there. And I never understood why he didn't do that on his own, but it makes me think that this idea of sharing and that Billy needs to share is that Joe needs somebody to maybe carry him to get anything done. I'm not sure. What do you think about that, Joe?
It's very good points. I will discuss them one at a time. So first and foremost, when we met, I was hosting my own show on TV when you came down to LA. It was my own thing. It was doing very well. Secondly, so there's that.
Mm-hmm.
That's just something we do. Secondly, whenever you do your IRL streams alone, it's unanimously known that it's a worse show.
Oh.
Everybody thinks that, in fact. What makes it good is the chaos. What makes it good is the fact that there's a push and a pull dynamic, that one of us is willing to look really evil and the other one is willing to make himself look stupid. And that's what people like. They don't care about your safety, and you do. You care about your safety and you care about how you come off.
Which I think is why one of the most successful IRL streams I did was without you, where I put myself in harm's way. And I invented a meme about a man named Zoltan that after I had done that, you went back to that exact place multiple times to try and make magic happen again, because you had never
help avenge your honor.
Because you had never gone out and made that magic on your own.
Okay, I didn't interrupt you. You can't interrupt me.
Okay.
I was in the middle of points. So the most successful stream you ever did was entirely spearheaded by me. You made $4,000 that night. I forced you to go to Onision's house by mockery, and it got the audience, who knows the score as well, in on the joke, and they decided to bully you into going to Onision's house as well. And we did. You did not want to go.
No, I didn't.
You thought it was a terrible idea.
Yeah.
It ended up being your single, by far, most successful stream. And you didn't share one bit of it with your cameraman Seth or your business partner, me.
Yeah.
$4,000 you made.
Yeah.
And then I gave you the idea to create a long fallout, which again, you did. With Drunken Peasants, the host of Drunken Peasants likes me a lot, and I like him a lot. His name's Ben. That's why he offered me my own show on Drunken Peasants. When I started to do my own show in my own capacity, you started to tell me how it negatively reflects upon you.
When
because
was that?
of how this was after the Pipmunk fallout.
Oh, no.
So
that
even
was...
when I'm doing something self-contained on my own, you find a way to have it negatively reflect you.
Huh. Well, interestingly enough...
And then success. The success was the last thing.
Yeah.
Success is the last thing, and success is the important thing. We have different views of success. That 4,000 that night, and everybody changing their view of the Onision saga, and it really not maybe tickling your ego because you came off looking really bad, which is fine. It doesn't matter to people whether you look good or bad. What matters is they're watching. That's success to me. You think it's only successful if everybody's saying, "Good job, Billy. Billy's the guy. Billy's the best." And maybe if they throw you a few dollars as well. I have totally different ideas of what a success is.
Yeah.
I want to do something no one's done before, whether it's good or whether people know why they enjoy it or whether people give me money. I don't really care.
Yeah.
So it's very different views, and that's why it's never going to work.
I want
You're
to
a
do
pleaser.
something. I want to do something no one's done before, so I'm going to do nothing. Is what I'm hearing. Because I want to do something that gets done. And I continually try to work with you on things, and for some reason they don't get done, or as the momentum builds, they get cut short.
Yeah.
Multiple times over and over again. It's a trend.
Yeah, that's why I said we make a poor team. That's why it won't work. That's what I was been telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
That's how I opened
I think the idea is that I continue to try to make it work, and it doesn't work. And
No, I came
get
down
tired
to your
of
room
trying.
several times this week and said, "Okay, you ready to plan?" And you were sleeping at 3:30 in the p.m.
Yeah.
And whenever I come down with my notebook, you talk to me maybe a few minutes, but then you don't really want to do anything. And it's
Which
okay.
I think it's cool to like put that on me when a lot of times you're down here just playing video games as well. And there's multiple times where we could work on something and talk about something.
I play very rarely. I play very rarely.
You
I
put
play a
hours
round
and
or two.
hours of game time in.
Not really.
Yeah.
Well,
To
what are we gonna do?
say you don't would be a bold-faced lie. But
Not really. How many times have I been here since Christmas?
Since Christmas, which is 2 weeks,
2 weeks, yeah.
I would say this has been a particularly low Joe show up, maybe 4 times in the last 2
Three.
weeks.
3, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
And prior to that,
And
there
then
was
I'd play a round or two of Dead by Daylight, and then I'd go back upstairs.
yeah.
Hoping at every time for us to, you stop magic, me stop that, and, talk about what a podcast would be.
Yeah, like today.
Or plan one.
Today
or do
you
one.
walked in and
Yeah.
I had just woken up.
It was 3:30 p.m. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it was
remember.
3:30 p.m., which doesn't
Yep.
matter because you wake up those hours all the time too, consistently. It's been a little different recently because you've been waking up early enough to watch your new baby daughter. But prior to that, and during some of that as well, you'd be sleeping until 3:30. So if you want to point fingers, remember you have to point one back at yourself, because at the end of the day, I do things in the entertainment world all the fucking time, and I get them done. And when I've tried to bring you in on multiple occasions, they fail miserably sometimes before they even start because of things that you do working with other people that make them unable to continue
I see.
time and again. So I don't want to invest tons of prep time into something that you may blow up, but I am willing to invest some time to see that something gets done.
Okay. No, I think we should put all our eggs in one basket. I think you need to be willing to do that. Because every time I do take the helm, it turns out very well, whether you look good or not. And a lot of times you don't look good.
Yeah,
And I think that's
but
the
why?
problem.
But why would I want to do something that has me sacrifice my position in this world? Well, my position in this world is all right. Why would I want to risk that? Why would I want to risk that to piss off
If
a
it
bunch
can
of
be destroyed by
yeah.
a buffoon like me,
a
it's not
buffoon
really
like
a
you?
real
No, somebody
it's
who
not a
I
real
trust,
position.
somebody who I trust in my circle, and give that close
you see,
proximity.
In my circle, you see how you talk as if it
Yeah.
all revolves around you. That's not
Well,
a team.
I mean,
That's not a team.
it's not a team if somebody decides to go into business and create a fucking a big shitstorm that I have to deal with without working it through me. That's not a team. If you just decide to start throwing everything crazy and then not have to pick up the pieces because you don't have to go back into work the next day in front of these hundreds of thousands
The idea
of
of
people.
picking up the pieces, we have a very different view. Like when, for example, the Pipmunk thing, I'll stay in it. I'll mock somebody. I'll double down. I'll triple down. If it's at least different. If nobody really tries it to that degree, I don't care if it's terrible, gross, and people hate me. That's the big difference. You care deeply if people hate you, and that's where this comes down. A lot of times I'll be doing something innocently that I just think is maybe amusing.
I don't care if people hate me at all.
You care deeply. You
No,
care
no,
deeply
I
about
care-
it.
I
and
care-
you care about looking like you're in control.
I
as
care
well.
about the fan base that I've cultivated,
Yeah.
and not losing those connections with people that have a certain amount of respect for me.
Yeah.
I don't want to make them think I'm an asshole because of something an asshole did around me that I now have to own up to. Like that's not
You don't
something.
have to own up to it. Like, people will put you in that position all the time. They'll say it's the oldest thing in the book. If you're part of a creative team, it's the Yoko Ono phenomenon. It's much older than that.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, will say you'd be better off if you didn't have that person. It's their
Mm-hmm.
way of trying to get into your influence, and it only allows it if you let it. So many people have told me, Billy's kind of a dud. I don't know why you do things with him. You should just go it alone.
No. And that would be fine if you actually did go it alone.
Yeah, and I do. I have my own show on the Drunken Peasants podcast with my friend Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why does that bother you?
Doesn't bother me.
So I don't know. I don't understand this.
Well,
I don't know why it's not anything.
What
to
I
you.
understand is as early as today, you
Yeah.
came down, woke me up out of bed,
Yeah.
and asked me if we wanted to talk about the podcast.
Yeah.
And I had just woken up,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't want to because I was literally just waking up in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing I hear about it is you saying it could never work
Mm-hmm.
on the fucking chat here.
Mm-hmm.
And now I have to have this conversation with you.
You don't have.
Whereas we could have just been talking about us working on the podcast. But it doesn't seem like you actually want to do the podcast. I think you just want to.
I don't want to do it the way you're doing it. You like to put one toe in and then say, yeah, maybe that'll work, but that never works anywhere.
And when has anything else worked for you otherwise? You want to do something
every time I do it, the whole thing crumbles.
When have you
because
done
everybody gets
something
afraid of
nobody's
how
never
radical
ever
it
done
is.
before?
Everybody gets afraid of how radical it is whenever I do it. And it works. The people like it. The people like seeing something they've never seen before. They do. They really do. I promise.
And where's the longevity of that?
Well,
where's the depth in that? Where does that get
problem.
you tomorrow?
That's the problem. The creative impulse is also a destructive one, and no one really wants to go along with something, especially with a shabby fellow like myself. You're not going to trust a guy who looks like me and talks like me and does what I do and say, okay, no, this is the guy we need to go with. Now, whether or not you should, that's another matter altogether. But
Yeah,
of
you
course
guys
you're not going
should
to
trust
him.
Joe.
Yeah.
But he should give you something to trust.
I think I do. We live together. We've been living together for going on 2 years in May. We've been friends for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know I'm not going to ruin you. You know I'm not going to put you in real harm's way, but that's part of the fun.
But
To be fooled by reality is the job of the audience. That's why they pay, or that's why they show up. It's not our job to be fooled by what's going on. Our job, even if we're dangling off the cliff, at least we know we're dangling.
And your job is to create for them to keep them coming.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't seen you do that. I barely do that on my own. And when you throw that shit into my world, it keeps me from being able to create on a regular basis. And I have to do work to fix the damage you've done, or else I lose the trust of people who I built trust up with because of the shit you do.
Oh, people
on my
use that all
channel.
the time. You're not responsible for people's reactions all the time.
I am responsible to keep the fan base that I've cultivated happy, or else I lose them.
Not really. They'll readjust, and you'll open yourself to something much wider. You can't cling to the same 5 or 6 people. And it's not a fan if you're forming a friendship with them.
Okay.
It's not.
And it's not.
Art isn't a democratic process.
And it's not. It's not my art when you do fuck around shit on my channel.
Yeah.
And I no longer want to do fuck around
that's
shit
what I'm saying.
because it's not worth it to me.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
why it won't
and
work.
I'm saying
because
I
you
know
think
it
everything
will work.
I do is
It
just
will
fucking-
work if
yeah.
you want to do something maintainable. But
Yeah.
I've never seen you do one thing maintainable.
No, because you always buck whenever we're about to do something. We had a whole planned idea after that.
You're
Onision
saying we.
fallout.
I haven't seen you do it without me either.
Oh, I have.
When?
My Nision apology video is legendary.
That was legendary.
A lot of people
It's
love
not
it.
maintainable.
Yeah. Oh,
You
yeah,
haven't done anything that is
my
continued
show,
to go.
Roll call. These are all
That you just
maintainable
did for the
things.
first time in multiple months.
Well, yeah, because I had a baby.
Okay.
I was taking care of the baby.
Okay.
I mean, why are you trying to,
Because you're
make out
trying to
a-
throw this shit under the bus when you literally woke me up today to work on it. And this is the first I'm hearing of you throwing this negative shit out there.
No, I just said it won't
Why,
work. because we don't make a
then
good
it won't
team
work.
because you just
I
try
don't
to-
care if it works. I continue to do what I do because what I do works.
Well, that's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
it is good.
Well,
And I don't want to
I'm
risk
happy
what I
for you.
have
I'm
what I have
happy for you.
working.
That's why I just said it won't work. That's all you're
It
doing
won't work
is
because you
proving
won't let it work.
Is that what it is?
I mean, I continue to do what I do,
Yeah.
and I'm willing to continually step out of my zone to
Yeah.
build something with you because I try and believe
Yeah.
that what you do is worthwhile.
Uh-huh.
I try and believe that.
Yeah. That's nice. That's very good.
Battle cam is not still a thing.
Yeah.
Why always the fighting? Well, because Joe's here.
Fighting isn't always bad.
Okay.
It can give way to peace. But the problem is, Billy, self-importance means that you're continuously being offended by something. It's just how self-importance works. You got to not take yourself so seriously.
I don't take myself very seriously. Anybody who watches me would know that.
No, like, I'm talking about behind closed doors. If you end up looking
Oh.
embarrassed or something like that, you really do take it personally, and you
No,
shouldn't.
when I
really
when I have thousands of people telling me I'm a piece of shit for something.
Hey,
Don't hey.
they
This
don't
is
tell you that. Who would say such a thing?
guys, thank you for tuning into the Joe and Bill Impromptu podcast.
Oh,
As you can see, we're having a conversation.
it'll never work. Lord Fraser. Miranda's right. The superficial ones will leave under one minor inconvenience. A lot of times people are looking for an excuse to leave, and you have to know that individuals can form bonds with you, truly. A mass is like the wind. Where it's going to blow, you have no control over. Let it take you this way, let it
Yeah.
take you that way, and you'll never be anywhere. But if you stir it here and steer it there, or let it overtake you, hey, that's Kino. Did you see that? That was our first guess. We did it, and we did it together. And it was real. Did you see that? Maybe it'll work.
Maybe it'll work.
Maybe it'll work after all.
Maybe it'll work. Anyways, the reason why Joe and I don't have a podcast is because we are waiting on another microphone. Because right now he has to use my headset mic. So I have to buy two microphones because I told Joey that I would buy a second microphone, and I haven't been able to afford it yet.
Well, the second one I can get.
Oh.
What do you need?
You want to get one like this? I was going to buy two microphones that matched each other so it looked like we were
Sure.
together on the podcast.
I'll totally do that. I also have my Beats ones that are like this.
Those are
I could have brought those in.
those are okay, but I want to have my pod mics.
Okay.
I'm getting two pod mics.
We could do that if you'd like. Because this went so well. It's been going really well. I thought between me and you guys, I thought it was a little bit of a shit show until Kino came in.
Yeah, that was pretty good timing. Is that Joe from Battle Cam? It is Joe from Battle Cam, but he's more currently known as Joe from Roll Call that you can find on Drunken Peasants Network, youtube.com/Drunken Peasants.
Me and my friend Ben.
Roll Call. Getting some Joe Rogan mics.
Is that what they are?
I don't know. I don't think he used pod mics. He probably uses these Shure mics. A lot of people use these Shure mics. They're $400.
I'd fuck that guy up for hugging me. Well, Tyler Brown, me and Billy are friends.
Yeah, we're friends.
I wouldn't hug you because we're not friends. I'd get that. I probably wouldn't hug you unless I wanted to fight you. And if I was positive I could beat you up, I'd go out of my way to hug you. I'd go out of my way. Do you think that's sick? If I was positive, I'd hug you. I'd definitely hug you. I'd hug you tight, and I'd enjoy it.
Today's podcast is sponsored by this random pocket pussy company.
That's me from Denny's.
You can get this random pocket pussy from a company. Hold on, it's gotta vibrate, dude. Why won't it vibrate? Oh, it's vibrating. You guys could have this random pocket pussy sent directly to your doorstep from this company if you bought it. You can use it as a cup. Drink it from the Horn of Gondor. Oh, chunky. Joey, no! Joey, no!
It's not so bad.
Joey, no!
Your dick has been in this.
Yeah,
It totally.
yeah,
It smells like it.
yeah.
How do I know? I know.
You know.
You can't fist this thing. It's no fun.
No, it's no fun.
It reminds me of an invention that I came up with.
What's the invention?
It's been wildly unsuccessful. I'll press it.
Can we turn it off?
Yeah, yeah. I'll preface that by saying this. It's been wildly unsuccessful.
How do I turn it off?
I spent
Shit.
what I had left from Denny's tips money in a prototype. It's called the Temperamental Pocket Pussy. Basically, it's kind of convoluted, and I think this is the big reason why it hasn't sold. You have a pocket pussy there, but it's clenched shut, and it won't open until you rub it just right. And even after you rub it just right, if it's not in the mood, it'll make up an excuse, like it's tired, it's been working all day, or its head hurts. And then, if you take it by force, and a little alarm goes off in the house, and it doesn't stop for like a day, and it just goes rapist, 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 and there's no way to turn it off. I thought I was going to catch, but it has not at all. Not even a little bit, as a matter of fact. But if anybody's interested, the Temperamental Pocket Pussy is on sale right now in my room. I'll give it to you for $1.50.
For some farthings?
Mm-hmm.
For a handful of farthings? Ah.
I'm the idiot who had a knife.
Yeah, Joe's the idiot that had a knife. For those of you that wonder if what happened to that idiot with the knife on the RV, he's actually a dad now.
Yes.
He had a dad.
And our first episode will be a child sacrifice.
Well, I think the real sacrifice is that of the father willing to lose his child.
Thank you. Shows I'm willing to do what it takes.
Yeah, that's how you become the elite. You know, there's a wonderful picture of Anderson Cooper, who you might not know, is the heir to the Vanderbilt fortune, one of the richest families in America. As a little boy, sitting on a pretty pink bed with his mom, Gloria Vanderbilt, and behind them is one of the cutest artistic pieces of a child sacrifice I've ever seen.
It's pretty good. I think it's Photoshopped, though.
I hope it's Photoshopped, though.
Yeah. The thing behind it looks like, what is that, Moloch? You ever hear
Moloch?
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks like that.
And there's
pretty good.
some children being sacrificed. It almost looks like it's a sculpture, but it's like a painting made of. It's not a painting, right? It's like a wood block portrait made of. I don't know. I honestly, I want to stop talking about it. I think we might have been put on a watch list for bringing it up. I hope it's not real.
Do you feel like you risked your life in that RV, Joe? No, because the knife was fake. The gun my friend had, totally real.
Yeah, the knife was fake. It's not a murder knife. It's a steak knife from
It-
upstairs in our house.
Yeah.
We eat steaks with those knives.
Yeah, you're gonna give someone a pretty bad cut, and you can probably
Yeah.
kill him if you really, really wanted to.
Yeah, but it's not a murder knife. It's a steak
not a murder knife. Yeah.
It's a steak knife.
Yeah.
Bohemian Grove.
Is Joe going to join our compound? I haven't heard. What is this?
Oh, I'm starting a compound.
Oh.
You're on the waiting list.
Oh, what is it?
It's like a compound where everybody lives and is happy, and they're happy with each. It's like a cult.
Huh. Interesting.
It's like a cult.
Yeah.
You're on the
lovely.
waiting. You're on the waiting list.
Cool. I was told there was no gun. Matt Pitt, then maybe what I said, it was the opposite. Maybe the knife was real and it was no gun. I can't remember these things.
Yeah.
That was months ago.
Yeah.
Maybe a year ago. I don't remember. It was forever ago. The only difference is now somebody's going to have to kill somebody on stream because the bar's been set. Sorry. And if there's any justice in the world, that person dying will be me. Somebody will come on stream, show no mercy, and actually kill me. And that will be the IRL king.
One good king. All hail the IRL king.
Anything that can cut the jugular is a murder knife. Well, let's go test it. I'll get the knife right now. Billy, stab me in the jugular.
I don't want to.
Joe's been waitlisted for Billy's University. That's true. I'm not a mod in any of his discords or chats. Maybe that goes back to the thing about you saying I'm unreliable and
Well,
self-destructive.
I actually
and other destructive.
unmodded you for you were banning people, I think.
I
you
was
were,
not. I've never banned a
maybe
soul.
maybe you weren't banning. You know, I know I unmodded you from Twitch because you were trolling people and saying things that were not conducive towards Twitch culture. So I unmodded you there, but
I didn't. So what did I say?
I can't recall exactly, but it needed to be removed. And I will say this on YouTube, where things are a little more lenient. You are a moderator on my YouTube page here right now, so the idea that I don't trust you is thrown out the window. And I hate winning like this, but that is a win for me.
So you do trust me deeply.
Yes.
Good.
Too much, probably.
Good. Then get the knife. I have an idea.
I don't like stairs.
Billy the Fridge, I remember you. Thank you for coming in, James.
I remember you.
John Morgan, going against Twitch culture. I don't know what that means, and apparently neither does Billy, because he doesn't remember what it was.
I believe you said something.
Maybe I called somebody a simp.
Not that simple.
Might have said Mario sucks.
Little worse than that.
How's the baby, Joe? Brittany B? She's a little, tiny, adorable parasite. Terrible, sucking all my energy, all my pride, all my joy.
Some of your
I'm a
money,
husk
too.
of a man. Yeah, what's left of my money. I'm a husk of a man. I'm a shallow, shallow husk. But I keep giving it. Do you know, you guys hear about that big old parasite with the bugs? The bug parasite?
Coronavirus?
No.
Oh.
The one that creates a facsimile of the ant pheromones of the little larva.
The little larva?
Of the little larva pheromones. It sounds like it replicates the pheromones of a little larva. In actually a hungry little larva. And it's a parasite, right? And the ant will dutifully all day go up and down the hill, up and down the hill, up and down the hill. We're talking miles of walking, the equivalent to miles of walking, just to give food to this little hungry larva because of the pheromones it's excreting over and over. Pretty soon, this little fake larva, this parasite, gets much bigger and much more powerful than the husk of an ant will ever be. And they still feed it until they die. The ant dies first. That's basically what this is. But I love it, and I'd have it no other way. Having children is for people like me and Bill Gates. The rest of us need to practice sustainable development.
Yeah.
I believe. Thank you.
Yeah. This was Joe's TED Talk. So back onto the next part of our podcast, Joe, I want to play a game. I'm going to give you a word, and if you could come up with a little insight based off of each word.
Okay.
I'll kick it off. Rapscallion.
Rapscallion. That's a great term. I believe that dates back to a Dickens novel. And a rapscallion is it's a portmanteau of two different words. Rap, which is a acronym for rhythm and poetry, and a scallion, which is an onion. And they would use it for somebody who was both dark-skinned and smelled bad. And it later switched culturally to meaning anyone who does anything a little bit mischievous. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next up, vehicular homicide.
Vehicular homicide. I'm glad you brought this up. When two people love each other very much, and they're driving down the freeway, and she says to you, "I don't like the way you look at her. It isn't right." And you say, "But honey, you haven't taken care of yourself at all." She feels guilty when she doesn't eat a salad for lunch. Who do you think I'm going to look at? You know, what do you think this is going to be? And then she stabs you. And then you jump out of the car. And then realizing that you're without a car, you hold up another car and then serve 3 to 5 years because you killed the people that drove the car. This is vehicular homicide. Vehicular homicide.
Okay. And to wrap up this segment, the last word I would like to bring up is knowledge.
What about it?
Well, you got a little insight on knowledge?
It's a myth. There's no such thing. Like Tyler Brown, I can say with everything I know about him, is he's by far the dumbest person in this chat. He has no reason to live. There's no justification for his existence. If he died tomorrow, no one would care. And it would be a net positive in every which way. And if you said, Joe, are you willing to do the job? Are you willing to kill him, even if it meant, prison? I'd say, well, yeah, probably, because it'd be funny to kill Tyler Brown over almost nothing. I think he's a useless person. And they say, well, Joe, if you're willing to waste your whole life to kill this useless person, doesn't that make you just as worthless? I say, yes, of course. And that's knowledge.
I like Tyler Brown a lot.
No, Tyler Brown is the only person in this chat right now that I'm positive has no justification for his life.
I do like Tyler Brown a lot.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Tyler Brown. Thank you for watching tonight's show. That wraps up the word response segment of tonight's show.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything that you would like to bring up, Joey?
Yeah, I'll counter with words. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Farthing.
I would really like to know what a farthing looks like. I don't even like it's. I know it's a coin. I think it's worth half a penny.
Yeah.
But I don't even know what one looks like. I've never seen half a penny. I've seen half a penny, but I haven't seen a coin as small as half a penny. What's the point? I barely see pennies anymore. I would like to just see what a farthing looks like.
To the chat. That's very good. Matt Pitt says, have you conversed with Onision since the stream? As a matter of fact, I have. Since that stream, he sent a text saying, well, first he invited me onto the H3H3 podcast with him. And since he's a calculating mind, I'm figuring it's because he thinks I'm the only person who could come off looking worse by comparison than he does. So I'm thinking that was part of it. It was very calculated. But like a dumb halibut, I said sure. And H3H3 was willing to give him $5K. And when it was about to be real, Onision backed out of negotiations. Well, a little while later, a few months later, he said, I don't want to hang out anymore. I got to focus on me. I said, this is as clean a break as you're ever going to get from a malignant narcissist. So I said, you got to do what's best for you. Have a good one. And that was it. And we haven't spoken since. Now, I know what this means. The world has unanimously ejected Onision as a sick, depraved groomer. And he rejected me, which means I'm somehow worse. If I have one regret about the whole thing, it's probably the grooming we partook with him. Don't you think? It was all for naught. We thought it was an Illuminati thing. Turns out it wasn't at all.
Yeah, we did not make it into the Illuminati.
It was just straight grooming. I'm with stupids. Billy is sweetest boy. John Morgan and not a sweet boy are here.
Yeah, I normally wouldn't have left the Among Us Discord chat thing up. I didn't think people would get into it and do this, but it's too late now. I can't get rid of it. So I'm just leaving it up. Oh, this has been an episode of the Joe and Billy Impromptu podcast so far.
Very good. It has twice as many viewers as you had in your last stream.
Oh, no.
It does, because you had, I saw it, you had 64 viewers in your last one.
No, it does. Yeah, it's got 116.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's awesome.
I'd ignore that too, if I were you.
I'm very proud.
Yeah.
I'm very proud. But
Joe, your mom's a sweet bitch. She is. She really is. She's looking for a new house. Because after COVID, she moved in with my wife, my child, William, and our manservant, Seth. And it was going well. It was going very well because living with your mom is one thing. Your mom living with you is quite another. So she was just basically our cook. And she seems to have gotten tired of the heaps of abuse and beatings and the fact that I love others more than I love her. I tell her, Mom, it's over. It's over, you know. And we still share a bed, but it's over. It's definitely over. Anyway, if you want to move in with her, Tyler, and you're in the Seattle area, I'll vouch. I'll ship that.
I'll ship that. Doomer Goth Girlfriend Mommy Milkers says, don't let Billy the groomer near your child. I'm not allowed upstairs when the baby's out.
I think my battery died.
On the headset?
Yeah, it just went. Oop. Is it still on? Hello?
How's it sound now?
Hello?
Can you guys hear Joey?
Hello?
This is the part of the podcast where we test Joey's headset.
Hello?
Let me know right here, right now, if you guys can hear Joey talk. If not, Joey, say something.
Hello, testing 1, 2, 3.
It's on, dude. It works. This has been the testing part of our podcast.
Yes.
Thank you, Joey.
Thank you. Thank you, Billy. It's been great. What a pleasurable partnership we've had.
Yeah.
Joe, do you have any new ideas on which direction you're taking Billy's content? I'm glad you asked, tied up, raped, helpless Barbie doll. I'm really thinking that it's time for Billy to do a total heel turn. He needs to start saying things like, you know what, I don't care about victims. You too? Yeah, so what? Everybody gets raped. I'd do it too. In fact, rape should be legal. And you should do it with really bad facial hair. Looking thin. And then I'll be like, oh, boom, boom, boom. Come on, guys, you can't say stuff like that. Come on, man. People are out there hurting. They're struggling. Boom, lay it down. Yo, my name is Joe. I'm really cool. I like chard. Hey. And then something like that.
Hey.
It'll go like that.
Hey. So I don't know if I could make that work. Like to do that role, I think that would take a big brain, a gentleman with a whole lot of confidence in the content, which I think is why you came up with the idea for me, because that sounds more like something you would do. Like for me, like what you said for yourself, it's more like something I think I would end up doing. I would probably be more positive minded and do rap songs and funny noises. That's more of like a me thing. So like I feel like what you did was you kind of took the dynamic of what we have had going for the last 10 years and you like just switched it.
Interesting. Anyway, I like that. I like that idea. Because between the two of us, I'm always looking bad because I hurt people and mistreat things and, resort to Machiavellian tactics to get not my way, but no way at all and nowhere.
Yeah.
And it always comes off making me look bad. And then you're over here, always happy, wearing bright colors and being a cherubic little big round ball. And I guess I don't like it. I guess I don't like it at all. And I think that's why this podcast will never work.
Well, I think, Joe, based on the numbers, concurrent viewers right now, 105 viewers watching, I think not only has this podcast worked, but it deserves at least an episode 2. I think that at some point in time in the next 10 years, we got to try this again.
I think that'd be pathetic. Billy has already heel turned. He supports imperialism. Define it.
Well, for one, imperialism, as far as I know it, is a concept only in Star Wars. So, get in the real world, dude.
Joe, do you like your mom or your sister better? In what way? My
Sexually.
mom's a better cook. Sexually? Let's see. My mom's very good looking for her age. She's really kept good care of her skin. She's lost weight actually from when she was in her 40s. Now she's right around 60 something, and she's looking much younger than that. She's probably more adventurous. No, wait, I found a butt plug in my sister's room. I actually filmed that at one point on camera. I don't think my mother ever had a butt plug. My sister's fresh, younger. Who would treat you better in a relationship? My mother. You'd have to do everything you could to please my sister. Everything you could, and even that wouldn't be good enough. And if you'd said, hey, why isn't this good enough for you? I know we're blood, but come on, I've given you everything. And my mom, just unconditionally, would say, yeah, I know you can't get it up anymore because I'm old and your mother, but you're still a prince to me. So it's a wash. I think it's a wash.
Yeah, I don't really think you can answer that.
Yeah,
You really can't answer that.
yeah.
I hope that they meant sexually. I was just assuming that's what they meant. Why else would you compare your mom and your sister, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They're two totally different people.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Now, cooking, if it was cooking, mom and sister's cooking, your mom is a wonderful cook, but so is your sister.
That's very true. That's
So
very
it's
true.
at that point, that conversation, it could go for hours and be a deadlock.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
mom's definitely cooked more for you, but like it was almost like in her job title,
Yeah.
right?
Speaking of, why don't you join us for dinners upstairs?
I do sometimes, but you guys don't eat things that I eat so often, so
We
it's
go out of our way to do it mostly keto because she's mother's a carnivore,
Mhm.
and we'd love to join you.
Yeah, I just usually end up getting food on my own when I'm hungry because I don't want to be adhered to a schedule for eating that would throw off my actual diet process. So I because my diet was so meticulous, I would only try and eat when I knew I was hungry. And if somebody else is cooking and offering me food, I tried to say no, but sometimes it would align with when I was hungry and it was perfect. And I had some great food. Your mom made some delicious pasta sauce about a month ago, and I had some keto noodles and had some delicious meaty pasta with some keto noodles.
Mm-hmm.
And it was probably on the bad end of the diet when I was strict. I would have turned it down when I was strict, but this is when I'd been fucking up so much. So it worked out.
I
It
see.
was very good.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody knows family dinners is the one way to make you obese, for sure.
Mhm.
There was so much bullshit in that whole thing.
Was there?
I mean, come on. I mean, one time I made you a sandwich at your house, and you, knowing no gratitude in your heart whatsoever, I figured Billy's hungry because I'm hungry. It's lunchtime. I'll make him a sandwich. And you could have eaten it later. We could have put it in the fridge, but you ate it. And then you chastised me. You said, listen, if I'm going to eat when I'm hungry and then all the times you're hungry too, I'm going to gain weight, lots of weight, and I don't need that shit. And I was like,
Yeah.
this is somebody who has a very unhealthy relationship with food.
Oh,
'Cause you just ate.
also somebody
just
who's
ate
600
now.
pounds.
Well, you just ate now.
Yeah.
So I'm just telling you, it's fat logic. It belongs on our fat logic. If you've
Well,
never been there, you'd need to go there.
I disagree.
It's family dinner, you know. It happens once a day. We don't
Yeah,
have
but-
multiple dinners.
But
like,
I don't live a regular schedule.
like I know I'm sucking it in a bit, but it really hasn't been that bad for me. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like
I don't have.
I'm just saying it's fat logic.
Yeah. I think that the thing is that I just feed myself because I'm an adult, and when I
Well,
when I
family dinner is everybody. We take turns cooking. Sometimes I'll cook.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the wife cooks. Sometimes my mother cooks. You know,
and sometimes nobody cooks.
Seth doesn't cook.
Sometimes nobody cooks, so like to have a schedule where I would just come up for family dinner, it would be fit around everybody's schedule. And since I'm not usually told ahead of time about these dinners, then I don't even know when they're gonna happen. And
Well,
now
I
you're
try
hanging
to
over
tell
my
you ahead
head.
of time, but you have that ADHD thing where you get bothered if somebody gives you too far in advance and you can't sleep the
It's
night
true.
before and
That's
stuff
true.
like that.
That's true. That's
What
true.
I'm saying is you're impossible.
I know, and that's why I fend for myself most of the time, so that I don't have to worry about putting my impossibility on others.
Well, no, when you're invited, you can still come, but you put everybody down. You say no, yeah, I don't want your food.
I'm a
Because-
very pleasant table guest.
You really are, but that's the thing. You're on too good a behavior. It's like even when you're invited and you're welcome, you're afraid of muddling things. It's kind of like your relationship with the fan base, you know?
That's definitely what it's like. That's why I only show up for my fan base every couple of weeks or so, because I'm too busy avoiding family dinner.
Yeah. Guess who's coming to dinner? Tyler Brown. Billy needs to be more naughty. Yeah. You ever just thought of being naughty?
I am naughty.
My mom's sleeping right now.
Hmm?
On the top floor.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and punch her head?
I don't want to punch your mom's head, Joe.
Come on.
I do want to, but I'm not going to.
I'd do it.
I know you would. We both would. That's the people we are.
You see, this is the thing. You're not willing to do the content for the people.
I'm not going. I don't want to. I don't want to be. I don't want to be somebody's dancing monkey.
I'm just saying, a lot of people would really like it.
I want to be the monkey that's dancing, and then people watch the monkey dancing because they enjoy the monkey dancing. I don't want to be the monkey that dances because the people tell them to.
Go punch my mom in the head.
I want to. I'm not going to.
Huh. He's a sweet naughty. That's why people find you irresistible. Do you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're a little bit of both.
I know.
You have the element of irreducible rascality,
Mm-hmm.
as it's been called in days of yore. Cody in the chat has called it that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what people like about you. You say you're a sweet boy, but then you go upstairs and bully my mom.
I wasn't going to bully her. I assumed she'd be sleeping.
Yeah.
And I assumed the punch in the head would wake her up.
You were thinking of punching her in the head, weren't you?
Yeah,
You
I
sick
was.
fuck.
I was.
You would, wouldn't you?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. No matter how much I want to, I wouldn't.
You're like Eddie Haskell,
No.
but chubby.
No.
You're like Lumpy and Eddie Haskell.
No.
For those of you
No.
who've seen Where's My Beaver.
No. That's not true.
Sweet boy content, tongue puncher fart box. Joe is his own mother. You saw that one too? A boy's best friend is his mother. Punch her, then kiss her. Do you think she'll mind?
Do you think she'd be more offended by the punch or the kiss?
Both. The punch until the kiss. Then she'll be more offended by the kiss. She'll completely forget about the punch. Rest in peace, Eddie Haskell. Yeah, he just died.
R.I.P. Eddie Haskell.
Now he wants to.
This is the part of the show where we remember all the people who died of COVID in 2020.
The lead singer of Fountains of Wayne
It's very sad.
died of COVID.
It's very sad.
The bad part of the COVID thing is all the COVID deaths. The good thing is, because everybody stayed indoors so much, we've seen great reductions in car deaths. Actually, every other death, every other form of death, all the big major ones, heart disease, we've seen a major decrease in those.
You know, school shootings are at a low because of essentially because schools are closed down. School shootings haven't been lower since 2016.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's 3 years of school shootings that were escalating, and then with schools shut down,
Mm-hmm.
we haven't had a lower rate of school shootings since 2016. This is the second lowest year in the last 5 years.
That's not bad. So yeah, it's had its benefits as well. Sometimes good things come from bad things all the time. Like that one thing you were saying about what was it? Rape.
Yeah.
You were saying, I thought it was kind of an edgelord thing. I didn't like it at all, but it was in private, so I figured it was okay. And I don't mean to air it out here. I just thought it was a salient point. You said
It's a podcast, Joe. Just talk.
You said since the Holy Spirit had raped Mary, the whole world is saved because you're a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
And you said rape is usually bad, but in this case, it saved the entire world. Do you remember that?
As a Christian, you have to remember that.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes good things come from bad things.
Yeah.
Lay it down.
Hey, little Joey, little Joey, hey, little Joey. I think your mic cut off. Well, this is the end of the musical performance segment. I don't think they can hear you, Joe.
I killed that bitch.
The mic came back in there at the end. That was pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good performances by both of us, I think. All right. I'm pretty much wading in the water here. I don't know where to go from here.
This is where it gets good.
This is where it gets good.
You just wait for an idea to come.
Mm.
You just sit and then you wait for an idea to come. You see?
Mm.
There's going to be one any moment now.
Any moment.
It's kind of like fishing. You've been fishing.
Any moment. Have I been fishing?
How about you write a nap together? That's a good idea.
And then I lay down on my pillow and I take a great nap.
Oh, shit. Speck is quoting. Sometimes the worst things are the best things. Good comes from bad all the time. Like, sure, slavery is terrible, but without slavery, the NBA would be rubbish to watch. That's an original.
That's a Joe quote.
Yeah.
I don't watch the NBA regardless, so I don't think slavery really helped out there.
Yeah.
You're listening to the Dead Air Podcast. With Joe and Billy. With Joe and Billy. Wow. Joe and Billy in the morning.
Wading in the waters.
Wading in the water.
They should have John Morgan on to add to the content. I remember that. John Morgan said that once.
John Morgan, if you would like to be part of the Joe and Billy Impromptu Podcast, just send us $200.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be the Joe and Billy and John Morgan Impromptu Podcast. Now, Joey's going to get half of that. I'm going to get half of that. And you're going to probably get kicked off 10 minutes in. But you're more than welcome to do that. That'll be episode 2, though, if that happens.
That's pretty good.
Not tonight.
I just want to thank Cody for organizing this. You know?
Yeah, tonight's episode is brought to you by Cody Dees.
That's
those
really
of you
good.
that don't know, Cody Dees was the driver for Joe and I's RV trip across America in 2014. If you need an RV driver, hire Cody Dees.
Tyler Brown, don't try to shame him. He said, Billy, is Joe really your friend? Are you going to let him say that stuff about your taste in people? Go on. Let him have it. Go on, let him have it.
Don't you dare, dude.
Don't let him have it. Go
Better
on and tell
not,
him.
dude.
Go ahead and tell him.
Better leave Joey alone, dude.
Yeah.
You better leave Joey alone, dude. Do a Wim Hof breathing exercise with Billy.
All right.
How do you do that?
You do, it's basically hyperventilating yourself. So you
want to go first?
Each time deeper and deeper. Okay? Keep doing it.
Okay.
Now go outside naked, and you'll see it worked. It's the Wim Hof method.
I don't want to go out naked. We got 15 more minutes of the episode left. I'm going to derail this episode for 15 minutes by giving Joe some solo time as I go take a piss.
Okay, perfect.
Joey, I'll be right back.
Yeah, that'll ruin it. You're watching the Billy the Fridge podcast with your host, Joe. I'm Joe. So the whole thing about the whole thing is, I think we were right. It'd never work. Um, it's not just that I embarrass Billy, you know, for accidentally just by being myself. You know, I try to be sweet, try to be good. He just takes it all personally because he's so self-important. But he runs into the same problems with his other co-host on his other show, Ben. Ben is constantly just trying to do what he can to do a good show, and then you got Billy going bum bum bum, you know, being contrarian, being competitive, an egotist, always trying to push things around. You know, it's just sad. He is so annoying. I'm glad you said that. This is actually a very anti-Billy podcast, despite the fact that this is Billy's channel. You know what? We should all unsub. And we should do something really naughty so his channel gets banned. But that would prove him right. He said I'm destructive. He said that I'm out to ruin him. No, we can't do that. We can't do that. That was a good idea, but we gotta skip it. Who's got some hardcore pornography they want me to put on? I'll share a screen. What do you think? What do you think? I don't think either of you can make it solo. Cody, I thank you for that vote of confidence. But the way you found us was you watching the show that I hosted solo, and I remember you calling it the best thing on TV. What changed? That you think you had a hand in us forming this together? Is that what it is? Because on the other hand, I think it would be much better solo. Much better. I think he does better solo. I think I do better solo. I think that's the better thing. Because at least it doesn't create strain. This is not a AAA meeting. You mean a AA meeting, you illiterate piece of shit. You are poor. And it's Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. Thanks. What is this? Spinal bifida.
Switch back.
Oh, yeah.
We have to eat ribs now.
All right.
Hey guys, this is the part of the podcast where Joe and I eat food I had sitting.
Benji. Joe, we miss you at BC. Is BC still around?
I don't think so. Is there like a side room or somewhere?
That's cool.
I have a rack of ribs here, Joe, that we're gonna have to have on the podcast.
No, Pin. You can't. You're not worthy. Everybody else can. Spec timed that perfectly. You're welcome, Bernie. Billy, Joe tried to get you banned. Don't listen to fucking itty bitty titty committee. Don't listen to her. That looks good.
I had to cut them with a plastic fork. And
Doomer says animal murder on stream. I'm out.
you want grab some ribs.
Okay.
There's some ribs there.
All right. Vegan Gains would not approve of this.
Mm-mm.
I remember somebody died. They were murdered. And Vegan Gains did a eulogy video for him. And he's like, I would feel bad that someone got murdered, but look at this video. And it was like a clip from him eating some pork chops.
Neurohack funded £5. Can I see a sticky ribby bro hug real quick?
In a second, yeah. Anyway, he goes, I would feel bad for this guy dying if it wasn't for this video. And then you see it was like from 5 years earlier, he was eating pork chops on a stream. And he's like, he took hand in the murdering of a pig. You know? So he was a murderer himself, and I say what goes around comes around. And that's his entire channel. He just does that for everybody who dies or anything bad's happened. Oh, I'm sorry you got abused, but you eat beef, you deserved it. There's a market for that.
You think people will say that about us when we die?
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I'm hoping everybody's a militant vegan in the future. And then this looks terrible. This would be akin to watching people in 8000 BC eat a child alive, which they used to do all the time.
It was fun.
It's scary on
It
us
was
this point.
fun. This is the part of the podcast where we just eat this meat.
Like Joe used that knife on Ruin.
Yeah.
Did I use a knife on Ruin?
Oh. You didn't use a knife on Ruin.
This is especially good when you know it was alive and probably didn't die in a very pleasant way.
I wonder if it had a name.
Hmm.
Probably not.
Hmm. Hmm.
Should we name it now?
Mm-hmm.
You have a name?
Cody.
Wild Bill Cody. Shit.
Yeah, I remember that, Harambe. And he said, you deserve this because you ate a piece of salami in 1968. You deserve this, bro.
You think so Harambe was a vegetarian?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should be vegetarians if Harambe was one.
Harambe. Yeah. I'm a raccoon. I only eat garbage. That explains so much about you, Skep. What the fuck? Was that my tooth or a bone?
I hope it was a bone. Did you chip a tooth?
I think I chipped a tooth. Thanks, man. Never chipped a tooth in my life. Now live.
Gorillas are vegan. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You know gorillas have smaller penises than humans?
Mm-hmm. A lot of people say it's because they're vegan. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Billy? That was a lie. No one ever said that until just now.
I've said that before.
You can learn a lot by watching something eat, Cody. I go by my local rib house and hang around the dumpster before they close. I get racks of ribs for free. That's pretty cool, kid. And the best part is, it has a lot of dignity to it. Do you remember that friend we had, Barker?
Uh-huh.
Barker was giving us tips on how to get free meals wherever he went. He was like, yeah, if you're 3/4 of a way through the meal and then you put a hair on it, you can go up and get the whole meal for free.
Yeah,
And
that's
nobody ever questions. I was like, well, that's pathetic. And then he's like, oh, yeah, no. If you, hey, if you're at a McDonald's and you go to the bathroom and then you accidentally shit yourself, but do it on purpose, and then come out and say, I shit myself, they'll give you a Happy Meal.
You want some more meat, Joe?
Kind of pathetic.
Are you finished with meat or do you want more?
I'm done. You can have the rest if you want.
I'm done. My hands are sticky.
She does, Cody. Did Billy wash his hands? Yeah. He gave it the old...
I did a spit wash.
Yep.
My hands are really sticky now, though.
Who wins in a staring contest, Jason or Michael Myers? Bum, 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 bum,
Freddy Krueger.
Boom. No, Freddy blinks all the time. The problem is, and this is why it was asked, you can't see either of their eyes.
Oh. We have to do a sticky ribby bro hug.
Too lame for radio. Did you eat your tooth, Joe? Yeah, I did.
Should we do a sticky ribby bro hug?
Technically, Jason never went through puberty, so Mike would win. I didn't know that. Did you know that? Jason never went through puberty? Oh, 'cause he's a dead boy. You see that in the first Friday the 13th.
He's 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
Should we do a hug?
Nah. We hugged earlier, do you remember? Was it for a dono? Somebody donated for the hug? All right, fine. I'll hug you. But that's it. That's all I'm doing.
Got some rib sauce in my ear.
Yeah. Yeah. Joe, have you heard the Blue's Clues drug addict theory? Yeah, I've heard it. I think it's that Steve is a drug addict, so he sees blue. It's a terrible fan theory. It's like that one about Yoda. Like, oh, the Return of the Jedi is actually Yoda's dying vision because he wanted to see the good prevail or something like that. Those are shoehorned. Those aren't great fan theories. Like, the great one is Ferris Bueller. Ferris Bueller being a figment of Cameron's imagination. It doesn't always hold up, like it being his personal Tyler Durden. It doesn't hold up, but it does have its own charms. That's a good one.
That was a good one.
Well,
I'm
watch out,
I'm
Billy Joe
sticky.
had COVID 3 times.
I'm sticky. I think we're gonna wrap this up.
No, I think we're just getting started.
Well, my hands are sticky, so I have to go wash them.
You probably should.
I'm gonna go
Otherwise,
wash
it's
them.
gross.
You can come back to this seat if you would like.
All right. Who is EBZ, by the way? Can we get EBZ on the next podcast? I was put up to killing him on the RV at one point. Somebody gave me 50 shekels and said, stab EBZ on RV6 with this guy named Blade. He said, only use your blade and stab a guy named EBZ. And I said, how will I know what he looks like? And they said, he's tall and bald. So I went in there. No one was tall or bald. And I went frantically looking. When I didn't see him in there, I thought I was in the wrong RV. And I dropped the knife in a panic. Butterfingers. You know. And then this little guy tried to pick up the knife. So I threw an elbow into him. And I thought maybe that's EBZ. So I said, are you EBZ? Turns out that was not EBZ. And then there was another guy. Turns out he was not EBZ either. You should get Pip Monk on the next episode. All I want from Pip Monk is a thank you. That's all I want. You know? His donation numbers have been way up since that night. That night in question, he got $300, which is all he really wants in life, is the money. He doesn't care about anything else. He doesn't care. If he did, he wouldn't look or speak or be the way he is if he cared about anything else at all, you know? So I guess all I'm saying is I want to thank you and everything he has. That's it. Isn't Only Use Me Blade on meth or something? I don't know. I've never really seen a stream of his. Is he on meth? We made Toe Andy bail and everyone on the RV to die. Yes. Yes, and Toe Andy was the only one with a knife, and he was the only wild card going in. My intel told me that that guy had a knife,
He had a knife,
and he ran out.
and he ran out.
That's someone not worth going to war with, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to go to war with somebody like that.
If you have a knife and you run out, you don't want to go to war with that person.
Would you be a good person to go to war with, Billy?
Of course.
Joe, did you play a Seattle hipster in BTF's last music video?
Maybe.
Did I?
You just shirt off the entire time?
Oh, is that a hipster?
I don't
thing to
know.
do? I don't think hipsters walk around with their shirt off.
I don't know. Billy's just a hardcore alcoholic.
Oh, sorry, I'm in your seat.
People are wondering if we're happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Mods? Spec would make a great mod. He wouldn't allow J Cups Roofies to say real Spurg hours go IRL re. Joe, why doesn't Billy listen to your good advice? That's a great question, Jack Jogger. Because it wasn't his idea first. In fact, if he can possibly ignore it and then 3 months later repackage it in some other diluted form, he will. He'll just have to convince himself it's his own idea. It's like the Fish Sticks episode of South Park with Cartman. That's Billy's whole life. What do you think?
Oh, I think that you're terribly wrong.
Yeah, probably. I was just kidding.
There we go. Joe and I
People
are
do
common
spam
law
stuff.
married.
What's with people who just spam slurs? Spec, I don't appreciate the way you talk about me like I'm not here. We do it to take away the power from the word. You know?
You know what I love?
What?
The cool, crisp, refreshing taste of Spindrift. Right here, right now, you can get yourself Spindrift, half lemon, half iced tea sparkling beverage, and enjoy a refreshing, crisp, citrusy, tea-filled flavor. Spindrift. It's that good. It's that good.
Anyway, I just think yeah, I guess I was wrong. Maybe you don't do that at all.
I don't.
Jack Jogger loves when I'm on the stream. Joe Onision, thank you, Dylan. I think the only real friend Onision's ever had is me. And it's not just because I would bring young people for him to groom. And it's not just because when everybody was like, hey, you gotta stand up for the victims, I hugged the predator. Who's gonna look out for the predator if not me? It's not any of that stuff. I think it goes deeper. I think it goes to the fact that I genuinely liked him, and no one else really has.
I tried to get you an interview with the Onision documentary people.
Oh, you tried.
Yeah, they I gave them your contact info and told them about you, and they were like, "Well, hopefully we can move on beyond you to other people." And I said, "Look, if you don't get Joe, I don't do the show." Or I thought it at least. I didn't do the show.
Oh.
I stopped responding to them.
Oh, so they would have done it with me, but you just stopped responding.
Possibly. If I would have done it, they were going to go to you, I think.
Yeah, it would have been better, because you know what I would have done. I would have really made this story great. I would have told them how Onision... I can't believe you robbed everybody of this.
I tried to push them onto you, but
No,
they
you should have
wouldn't
just
do it.
given me the email. I would have talked to him.
I did give you the email.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No, you didn't.
Yeah,
Why didn't you give me the fucking email? You know? When I was invited on H3 with Onision, I was going to let you film the thing. What's mine is yours. You know that. When I make $4,000 to do an apology video or whatever, I'd give you two. At least. You know I would. That's just what kind of guy I am. Doesn't mean I'm better than you. Maybe it means I just care about friendship.
maybe
Loyalty.
it means that I care.
You know that if they would have come to me on the Onision documentary, I would have told them in painstaking detail how he made me and Kai put on panties, get up and turn around for him and go, fuck my boy pussy, fuck my boy pussy, fuck my boy pussy, fuck my boy pussy, and made us say like kid stuff like lit.
That was lit.
Stuff like that. And made me dress up like a schoolboy. Stuff like that. I'd go on and on and on.
I cannot find me sending you the message, so I might not have sent it to you. I thought I did.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I gave you the email address.
Osir loves you.
Osir? I love Osir. Osir loves you too.
Fake friend Billy. 1K has a point.
What's that?
Joe blows the TV out on his pipe, then lies about it. That's true, Skeptical Jesus. The first hit was as fake as it came. The reason why I thought it was funny, it turns out I was radically wrong, is because I'm clearly the one who doesn't do a real hit. I blow it out, and then I accuse him of doing the fake hit, and I keep... But what that meant to everybody else is Joe's a liar who accuses his friend of doing a fake hit. Doesn't he know, that idiot, that we just saw him on camera? And you're like, yeah, I did. That was why I thought it was funny. I thought we were laughing together. And they're like, no, you fucking moron, we weren't. Because you're a sniveling little moron who tries to pull that shit on camera, and we're too smart for you. You fool.
I do like how smart the audience is.
Yeah.
That's always been like a key point.
So when I did the other 4 hits, and it didn't go out, and it was still being called fake, I thought that was great too.
The other 4 hits were...
What's up,
were
guys?
all
Has
real.
Joe stabbed anyone lately? Yeah, you missed it, Captain Content. Captain Content,
What's up, content?
that was our heroic return to live streaming. I remember Captain Content was there with a very beastly-looking woman. You remember? The one with the big dick? She reminded me of my father.
Oh God, that
Yeah.
was a bad night. You were
I was a little belligerent.
not a sweet boy.
I was a little belligerent. Anyway, she was a sweetie. Very nice girl. Tried to get her number. That's the only reason why I'm insulting her, because I get nervous around pretty girls, and I would have done anything to take her home with me that night, and I don't handle rejection well. Anyway, Captain Content was there. I remember Captain Content was crying. Do you remember he was crying?
I don't remember him
He
crying.
cried several times. Are you just saying that to protect him
I
because
don't
you don't
remember.
care about the truth? Or do
I
you
don't
not
remember.
Oh, is that what it is? You don't remember anybody but yourself. You remember your
Mostly-
exact reactions to everything that night, but
Pretty
you don't
much,
remember
yeah.
that our new friend, Captain Content, who's very sweet. He's a short little guy, good friend. He actually left the people that he was with in order to hang out with us outside. We weren't allowed in because of our shabby-looking appearances, remember?
I know, it was very kind of him.
And they thought that what I had was a fake ID because it said Tennessee, and that my name was just Surge.
Yeah, and I wasn't allowed to take the camera into the club anyways, so what's the point of going in?
Exactly.
Couldn't hear
And
anything.
he came out.
Maybe I could hear, but there's too loud, so I wasn't going to take the camera in there.
Sonia was hot. Sonia was the hot one. It was the other one, though, that was really feeling you. No, wait, no, actually, you went back to Sonia's house, and I thought you were going to invite us in for an orgy with her
Yeah.
to film live,
I
but you
thought we were
didn't.
going to have group sex
You
with
didn't.
that hot girl.
I'm just saying, if it was my beastly girlfriend, I would have invited you in. But that's just what kind of guy I am. You never cry. Sorry, Captain Content. I remembered wrong. Captain likes little boys. No, he does not, Jack Jogger. Captain likes money, power, control, women with penises, and his own way. He's like my friend Billy.
He's like every person ever.
Yeah. You wish. That's what he said that to Jack Jogger. He said, you wish.
You wish, Jack Jogger.
Captain, are you in the area? I know it's COVID season, but you should come by. I always liked you. I always liked you. You're probably my favorite IRL streamer, next to, who's that other one? Boxy?
Boxy.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Boxy. That's my favorite IRL streamer.
It looks like Honey Boo Boo's mom and Jesus with autism.
I didn't want to repeat that because he spelled autism wrong.
Odd.
You have to.
It's a pun. It's a play on words.
He spelled autism wrong. You have to respect people with autism, especially Jesus.
Huh.
Especially autistic Jesus.
Joe has this stream of consciousness thing about his banter. Yeah, Osir, it's called conversation. You've seen that. You know what I'm talking about.
Do you guys know what conversation is?
You know what that is.
The bad elf says Boxy is shit. Wow. Wow.
Boxy is shit. I ship myself for a Happy Meal at least twice a month.
I hope
That's a good callback. That's how you do it, Hank.
I do like Happy Meals. Ooh.
Amen. Wait. Oh, that's the guy who had the knife on the RV. Yes, but I can't take all the credit. That night was set up by a guy called The Collective. Or maybe it's a group, I don't know. It's a different voice every time.
It might be a girl.
It could be. Girls are always the masterminds.
If I know anything, it's that girls run the world.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, I was called, and they said, hey, RV6 is 30 miles away from you right now. Why don't you go down there? I was like, yeah, okay. And then I decided to bring a knife, and I said, if I bring a knife, what will happen? And they said, the only one who's going to try to fight you is this short little fat guy who thinks he's strong. He said, you see, fat people think their fat is muscle. That's a big problem fat people have. Some may even try to take up a career in pro wrestling because they think they're strong just because they're bulbous. Now, literally, they know that they're weaker than most everybody because it's just mounds and mounds of fat, which is of no value. And I said, okay, enough about that. What do I do? Well, I mean, I go in there with a knife. Is anybody else going to fight me? Who else is in this podcast this RV? He said, your friend Billy, who is also fat. He said, let me tell you something about fat people. They really have a really poor sense of logic. They don't know how to keep their mouths shut because most of them were abused at a young age, sexually and in other ways. And they constantly feel empty on the inside. And symbolically, they did interpret this that if their bellies are full, then maybe they'll be fulfilled. I was like, okay, Collective, just tell me who else is on the RV. He said, well, Blade. Blade's kind of fat too, but his is a different form of fat and a different form of abuse. He's a drinker. He's not going to try and fight you. There's another guy named Chicken Andy. He might try to do something for a second, but he weighs 75 pounds. So don't worry about him. The only guy that's really going to try something is Shooter. So there's also another guy. He said he might be a wild card because he has a knife. Turns out, much to my luck, when I came in with the knife, Billy was there, who's a familiar face. I had brought 2 cronies. And the guy with the knife ran outside first thing. The guy who weighed 75 pounds thought about doing something, thought better of it really quickly. And then the little fat guy went down like, get this, a little fat guy. It was like very easy. It was one-handed. You just turned him around and put him in a little
Do you think maybe he was hungry so he didn't have all the strong?
He could have been. You think he might be hungry so he didn't have all the strong? That's my strong food.
Might have been because he was hungry.
Popeye has his spinach. A fat guy has whatever's in front of him.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because normally a fat guy would just outmuscle you.
If you had a Popeye episode on a cartoon, it would just be you sitting in front of a buffet, and the whole episode would just be and just repeating those same bars over and over. You know, like the old Popeye cartoons where you would get ready to fight, but at the end you wouldn't fight. It would just show the credits.
That's a sketch I wrote for my sketch show that I'm producing right now.
It would be called.
The scene is called Fat Popeye, and then I sit at a buffet and I just eat all this food until I start with like regular spinach. Then I got cream spinach. Then I got spinach a la almond. I got spinach a la king. I got spinach wrapped seafood and stuffed with lobster and shell and halibut.
Yeah.
And it's just I continue eating all this spinach, and then at the end, I get out of food, and I'm like.
Trivia question, without looking it up. The fat guy who
Wimpy.
always eats burgers is called Wimpy, is it not? Yeah.
I'd gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today.
Yep, Wimpy. His
Wimpy.
name's Wimpy. You
He's
know
Wimpy.
why? Because back in the 1930s, when the Jewish gentleman who wrote Popeye, also the creator of Superman, by the way, did you know that?
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. He realized what we've forgotten about fat people is that they're wimpy, essentially.
The bad guy in Popeye was also a fat.
Bluto is not fat. He's muscular.
He's
He's barrel
exactly just like me.
Yeah, you're right.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. I like to go swimming with bare naked women. But the Sailor Man. Doo-doo.
Very good.
For those of you that don't know what Popeye is, it's a cartoon comic strip and movie and video game based on a little sailor man that eats spinach, gets super strong, and fights people.
Mm-hmm.
Love of his life, olive oil.
Same concept as Superman, really.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Lois Lane. If you change the name Lois Lane, it spells out olive oil.
Miranda Baldwin says, interesting. I think Billy is just a peacemaker. He doesn't like confrontation or violence. However, the wrestling videos say otherwise about him lacking strength. Miranda, I think I'm going to explain something to you. Billy, just give it a minute. You can jump in with your retort in a second. The most famous wrestling video of Billy is him puking up water 4 times, passing over, flopping down on the mat. Now, you couldn't say this took a form of strength. I don't know, maybe courage. Maybe if he was self-conscious at the time, you could argue that, which he wasn't. So you're a little off there. The other ones that have the ideas or the argument to it, the little clips of him fighting, wrestling isn't real. I probably should tell you this. Like when he's hitting somebody with a donut and they fall over, they go flying. They're faking. They're faking. You see, it's not a real thing. You understand? Like if I do this, I did that for real. If you do wrestling, you do that, and he still goes like this. You understand? I don't know how to explain this to Miranda.
Yeah, I think it's because you're wrong.
Okay.
So, this is what Joe's trying to say.
Yeah.
Billy is only not strong because he's hungry.
Yeah.
And if once he eats his food, he'll be strong again.
Yes. Yes. Joe got beat up by a girl in battle camp. I did? I'll have you know, I've fought 37 girls in my life. I've never lost once. In fact, the only times I've come close to losing is when dudes come out of nowhere and jump on me. Actually, one such instance happened on battle camp itself.
Yeah, but you lost the fight to that girl because of the dudes.
Actually, no. The dude who jumped on me, I put him in chokeholds, and you hear that at the end of the video. Why lie? I mean, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. It's fun to see an asshole get beat. I like it too. The fact of the matter is, and this is kind of a secret, I know you watch Hollywood movies and shows. Women are weak. I'm sorry.
I've seen
Compared to
Star
men.
Wars, dude. They're
Yeah.
strong.
Okay, fine. Listen, when guys say don't hit girls, or when society tells you don't hit girls, it doesn't mean don't hit them because they're better than you. It doesn't mean don't hit them because see this Hollywood movie where they kick the shit out of every man. It's because when you hit them, it hurts them a lot and they can't really defend themselves. Do you understand that? I'm sorry. I maybe that's new.
This doesn't make sense.
It's like the fat thing that we knew in the 1930s about Wimpy being fat. It seems like we're forgetting everything.
Wimpy
I'll
was
fight
only weak because he didn't have hamburgers. He was trying to get some hamburgers.
Yeah.
He was practically begging for them.
Yes, exactly. Joe has no room to talk. He can't fight either. These nuts, I'll have you know, I lose a lot when I fight, but I fight a whole lot. A whole lot. Last fight I had, I lost. It was 3-on-1. It was a street fight outside of a club called Grimm's in Seattle. That was my 91st career fight. I'll fight you. And it's no guarantee that I'll win, but
Remember when you lost that fight at your work?
That was 4-on-1.
Yeah. I think this is I'm gonna go out on a limb, Joe. You lose fights because you're stupid. If a smart guy would fight only one guy, stupid guys would fight 3 to 4 guys at a time.
I think my head's off.
Uh-oh. 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 Welcome back, Joey, to the podcast. Your headset went off.
I Heart Cups, the highlight of Joe's life was going balls deep in Bish, and that didn't even happen. So the highlight of my life is a lie. Billy banged Bish.
Will always love you. Ooh.
So you're saying women are not equal? I would never claim such a thing, Randy Greer. That would be sick and strange. I think the only reason why that happens is there's no such thing as gender dimorphia. There's the fact that men are encouraged to lift weights in our culture, and women aren't. Arnita Sarkeesian said that.
Who is proof that men and women aren't equal?
Joe versus Billy. Who wins in a fight? We all know who wins in a fight between me and Billy.
Sarah, the audience.
I don't want to say it, but it's obvious. Everybody knows. In fact, what happens perpetually is I beat Billy in every fight we've ever had, but he never gets pinned because he always will count out at 2. Even if he's in a coma, he's going to count out at 2. So I've never successfully pinned him, but he's never gotten a clean hit in on me either. Billy never R-worded Bish. Taylor Tom, that's debatable. Because she was she was drunk. Wasn't she?
No.
Do you think that would be called?
No.
I think any sex that a woman later on regrets is rape.
Nobody
In fact,
regrets.
I'll push
Nobody
it even
regrets
further.
sex with me.
I think any form of penis and vagina sex is rape.
Nobody.
I'll go even
Nobody
further.
ever has.
I'll go even further than that.
Nobody ever has had a penis sex with me.
Yeah. So he is undefeated, 1K says.
Thank you.
Are you still cool with Leafy?
So cool.
Does Leafy like you?
I imagine. Yes.
Who likes who more? You like Leafy more, or does he like you more?
I probably like him similar amounts.
Did you
How much he
decide to
likes
go to
me.
Leafy by yourself?
No.
Was it the collective?
No. Everybody, this has been an episode of the Joe and Billy Impromptu Podcast, episode 34. I want to thank you guys for calling in and
We just got started. It's just starting.
I think it's I just talked to
Miranda, backyard wrestling is fake, though. Miranda, I'm glad that we got into this because poor dear would have been confused. Miranda, that's fake too. The stunts sometimes truly hurt, and they are trying to hurt each other, but the outcome's predetermined. Do you understand? Nobody's actually trying to truly mortally wound the other. But in a real fight, they are. The 4-on-1 thing, though, I almost won. The 3-on-1, I almost won. So you're kind of selling me short. It always takes a group of 3 or more guys.
I think the joke was that you were fighting multiple people, and I was calling you stupid for not fighting one person. Like, obviously,
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I just
It was
think
funny, but it's
now
still...
that you're explaining it, I feel like you feel like I slighted you there. Now I feel bad because I was only.
I don't think
was
you
only
were
making a
slighting me. I
joke.
thought you were being funny.
Yeah, it was, but then you came back to it and like made it sound like I was questioning your strength when really you're fighting 3 to 4 guys at a time. It's pretty epic right there. I've often fought multiple people at once, and it's not easy.
Like Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Joe used to be good looking. Yeah, well, we all grow up sooner or later.
We used to be friends.
Hello, Billy.
A long time
I've been
ago.
mewing a lot lately to improve my jawline. However, I have another problem. I also suffer from negative canthal tilt. Do you have any natural remedies that can help? Thank you.
I don't know. I don't know what a negative canthal tilt is.
Well, look it up.
I'm not going to look it up. We're
Look it
live.
up.
We're
Look it
live.
up.
We're
Look
live.
it up.
We're live.
Look it up. It's an advice
No, we're
segment. It's
live.
the advice segment.
No, it's not.
It's the
No,
advice
it's not.
segment.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's not.
It's about as funny as blowing sativa out of your bowl. They can't all be winners.
See, the funny thing is, Joe wasn't doing that as a gag. That's literally how Joe smokes.
Yeah.
He does the same thing with weed all the time too.
I never learned. I actually, the truth is more pathetic. I do that. I do that joke every time, thinking that one day somebody will laugh. It's never happened.
I just laughed.
It's never.
I just laughed. You planted that seed.
I think it's funny to be bad at it, to just blow it out. But I used to like Joe a little bit when I thought he banged Bish. Now he has no redeeming qualities. Yeah, I remember I Heart Cops because he said about 5 minutes ago, the only redeeming quality Joe has is he banged Bish. And I had to break the news to you that I didn't bang Bish. We made love. It's a totally different thing. Totally different thing.
Joe has his own YouTube channel. You can find it Joe in Real Life.
Joe in Real Life. I also appear live every other Sunday on the Drunken Peasants channel on a show called Roll Call. That's ROLE space CALL. If you call in, we can help each other. That's the slogan. If you call in, we can help each other.
It's really good.
Ben came up with it.
It's really good.
What do you think?
I think people should call in.
We can help each other.
What are you doing with my cummadigans? Don't clip your fingernails with my cummadigans.
That's a fingernail clip.
I know, these are mine.
What, we can't share?
No, not stuff like this. It's like sharing a toothbrush.
We do that too.
I didn't know that. No, you can't. There's finger grit and stuff. People have, sometimes there's fungal issues with people's hands. You don't want to share these things. It's a nice surgical tool.
I thought
I'd have to sterilize it. You haven't sterilized it.
me and my wife share one.
You and your wife share a lot of things. But this is not something I would like you sharing with me.
Wilhelm scream. Joe showers once a week. He can't help anyone. Even if that were true. And it is. How does that follow?
How does that follow?
You know, the Maharishi never bathed. He helped everybody.
Yeah.
Gandhi used to sleep with underage nieces.
Yeah.
You're saying pedophiles can't help people?
They can't. Well, they can. They can.
Listen. And I know what you're saying. You just compared yourself to a pedophile favorably. Well, let me tell you something. I have many pedo friends. You know that? So before you start calling me a pedophobe, you think about that. Because as we all know, every pedophobe is a repressed pedo.
What I need you guys to do is continue sending in donations. If you notice, Joe's headset kept shutting off. It's because there was no audio playing in the background, so the headset's turned off. We need to have donations at least every 10 minutes so the headset doesn't turn off. It's very important.
People don't donate when I'm on.
I know.
It happens on roll call.
I know.
You know why? Because I've never asked.
No,
And I
that's not
don't
true. That's not true. I'll tell you why. It's because you're too interesting and they don't want to break away from your act to
That's the
send money.
sweetest thing you've ever said to me.
I say sweet things to you all the time.
That's the sweetest thing you've ever said to me.
I say
I've never received a live donation before. Never.
you
in my
know
life.
Sunday you made $9.12 on the Drunken Peasants roll call
Oh, really?
episode. Yeah, I came in Tuesday and there was $9.12.
I think that was to Ben.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't get a $600 stimulus, Kyle. I didn't get one. But I was only joking about the money. I was thinking about Joe's headset turning off, and I was like, I wonder why it didn't turn off sooner. And I was like, oh yeah, we got donations. And then I said that while I was thinking about it, because it keeps turning off. And I'm trying to think of a way to fix that in case we need to use this again. Robert Smolin, thank
Is
you
that
for your
for me?
$1.
That's my first donation.
I don't think so.
That's not bad. You think it's mine?
Frederick John, here's a dono, sweet boys. See, now that one's going to read out.
That's
Because after a certain price point,
Wow.
they read out loud, and then Joe's headset stays on longer. See?
Oh.
See?
Oh, but you know the problem.
What's that?
I will never
Frederick
see
John
that.
funded
I know.
$5.
You're gonna keep.
Here a dono,
Yeah.
boys.
The real problem is,
You're gonna keep that
yeah.
money. You're gonna keep all of it, even though it's our officially first episode.
Yeah.
You're gonna keep that.
Yeah.
Do we need to write up a contract or something?
We do, yeah.
So I can keep you from exploiting me?
It's not impromptu. It's impromptu my bank account.
Huh. Interesting. Interesting.
I can take you higher
What's the thought that
to
counts?
a
Robert
place
Frederick,
where
thank you.
blind men see. Thank you, Frederick John. Thank you, Robert Small. Hey, look at Cody D's, the sponsor, proud sponsor of Joe and Billy's
Keep it
Impromptu
up.
podcast.
Now we have to stay for another 10 minutes. $1 a minute. Well, 11. Because Robert, you know that.
But we've already been live for many minutes, so we need $700.
That's not wrong. The problem is
$700.
most of us don't know anything unless we're explicitly told it.
Shit.
So I think you need to, 50-50. Wow. Cody said he'll only give it if it's 50-50.
He already gave it.
What do you mean?
He already gave it.
So what are you saying?
I'm
You're
saying.
going to take it all?
I'm not only am I going to take it all, I'm going to spend it all in front of you.
It's weird that you do that. Like, I
Is
can't
it?
imagine. I can't imagine it being the other way around. How do you do that to a friend?
I mean, I think.
You know they're responsible for half the content.
Well, yeah.
You know.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm offering you the unique
Osir
opportunity.
donated
Osir says,
$5.
love you guys.
Love
Thank
you
Osir.
guys.
That's very sweet, Osir.
I'm offering you the unique opportunity to be live with me here
Mhm.
in Seattle, Washington. That's payment in its own.
Still better than a sex line. Thank you, Skep Jesus. That should be our new slogan.
Still better.
Still better than a sex line. Cody D's, you guys get paid less than cam girls. Yes, but our asshole doesn't hurt at the end. Well, it
Mine
does,
does.
but for entirely different reasons. Joe, congrats on the little one. Now Billy needs one to match. You got to do everything even, 50-50. That's why I've been trying to artificially inseminate him.
Mutiny has a point.
Yeah, are you ready to have a kid?
No.
Joe forgets that Billy offered him and Seth Chipotle.
True.
He's right. Sometimes I just blind myself.
True.
It's my ego. It's
True.
my sick ego. $4,000 that night.
True.
And you did offer Chipotle.
Yeah, I did.
And I knew to refuse it that night
Mhm.
because I was like, nope, he's gonna think this is the settlement.
Mhm.
And then I said, I'd be a fool to ever give Billy content ever again.
Yeah.
And that's what I said.
Yeah.
But like an idiot, I just kept doing it.
Yeah.
And then he ended up rejecting me.
Mhm.
So Nision all over again.
Well, the idea is
Just too sweet.
The idea is that you would do streams with me and I would do streams with you,
Mhm.
and we would build each other's channels.
Yeah.
And we would create a revenue stream for each other's channels. You'd be able to get revenue on your channel from donations, and I'd be able to get revenues from my channel on donations. And if you look at how IRL streaming and YouTube in general goes, that usually is how it works. Like with Onision, when we do videos with Onision,
Yeah.
he never split the revenue with us.
Yeah.
When we do videos with other people, when I did videos with other people, they never split the revenue with me. So it wasn't like I was ripping you off. It was like I was working with you, and you would have been able to jump from that and create and earn as well on your own.
Why didn't you say that? You've never said that till now. I
Well,
didn't know that was the arrangement.
It's because
It sounds weird.
that's how it has worked with us and other people. It's how it worked with me and other people. It's how it has worked.
Well, no,
So I
but
assumed.
I don't know. I thought we were
assumed-
friends, so it was different.
Well, I think because we're friends.
I remember Joe got beat up by his stepdaddy. No, that's not true either. I'm
and
not even getting
did you
credit
split-
for fights
did you
I
s-
win.
Did you split?
What is this,
Did you
trolling?
split any of your donos that night with your stepdad?
I did. I didn't get donos. Let's see. How do we get Joe as a full-time DP host? I'm glad you asked that, Frederick John. Ben has wanted me as a DP host for quite a while. Billy has been doing everything in his power to make sure that I am not on the program.
This is not true at all.
He says things like, well, I don't know if we can trust him, man. Look at
This is
already
not
what he
true
did
at
with
all.
Pipmunk. Look what he did with Tim Pool's brother.
This is
look
not
what
true
he
at
did
all.
with Scotty. Look what he did with Egghead. Look what he did.
All
By the
these
way, me and
reasons-
Egghead are great friends now.
Of course.
All's well that ends well.
course.
By the way, Pipmunk came over my house. That's a lie.
That's a lie, but he should.
Anyway, other things. He should have. I've invited him twice. But Billy just, I don't know. There's this guy named Jay Briggs. He hates roll call. He says it's a stupid, stupid show. But he says Joe should be on the show. But they don't because Billy knows that he'll be outshined. What do you think of that?
I think that I try and get you on the show all the time.
That's
And because of those things you labeled off, you starting stuff with Egghead, Pimp Monk, Tim Pool's brother, all those people. That's why people are hesitant to invite you back. And by people, I mean people who run the show.
It's how I make friends. You remember the knife on the RV?
Mhm.
It's bonding. You know, you're looking for a few good men. You want to show them, hey, this is what I have. How about you? I remember Asterios. I showed him my dick when he gave out his number.
Remember when you showed Pimp Monk your dick?
Yeah. And Pimp Monk was like, he's showing me his dick, making me look like some weirdo in the hallway. I wasn't even allowed in the studio. And then with Asterios said, that's the most mediocre dick I've ever seen.
Was he trying to hurt you?
I think so.
Was he correct?
I don't know. I started crying. But I don't know. Joe was traumatized because he saw his father murdered before his eye by Joe. That's true.
That's sad.
That's true. It's like the Batman origin story, but he kills his own parents, and instead of dressing up as a bat and fighting crime, he dresses up as a bat and scares his newborn daughter all day. It's wildly unsuccessful.
It's wildly unsuccessful.
Chat rate 2. What does that mean? Chat rate 2.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Make your own Billy and Joe show. Now that's an idea.
This has been Joe and Billy Impromptu Podcast, episode
100% I'd Patreon.
100%.
Hey, that's mucking fuddle.
That's a good deal. 100% I'd Patreon. At what level, Mucking Fuddle, would you Patreon, and what would you expect in return for that? Because Joe and I will do it if Joe agrees.
What's a Patreon again?
Yeah, we're going to start a Patreon so Mucking Fuddle can subscribe so we can make a Joe and Billy podcast for Mucking Fuddle.
Okay, I have this idea, right? So take good care, Billy and Joe. Benji, thank you so much for being here. Benji,
Good to see you, Benji.
That was Benji, everybody. Anyway, what if, you know how there's like a lot of commenting on videos and stuff on DP? What if you did that, but it's like pornography, hardcore pornography?
We tried to do that. We couldn't find a place to host it.
Did we? I don't know if we tried hard enough.
What I thought
Instead of
was-
talking, this is the cool part. We just blow each other.
Mm-hmm. Is there a torrent for live streaming? You ever use torrents?
Torrents, yeah. Pirate Bay.
But is there like a torrent you can connect to for live streaming? So everybody watching just restreams the torrent? Like, is that a thing? That would be really cool if there was a torrent for live streaming and we could just do the show on a torrent, live stream it.
Yeah.
Wilhelm's Cream, we do the best we can to give you the best show you've ever seen.
This was the best show I've ever seen. Wilhelm Scream. I don't like sarcasm.
Bitwave allows streaming pornography. Well, we might have to do this one on Bitwave.
Bitwave allows streaming pornography. Thank you, Taylor Tom.
Now, would we be able to stream other people's pornography while we comment on it? Because
Live?
I was worried that some of these websites might allow streaming, but I don't know if they would allow streaming program that we didn't have proof of the age of everybody. And obviously everybody is over 18 because it's on other websites. It's like we're going to find like porn that is blooper porn and weird porn and crazy porn and do commentary on it. But we wouldn't be able to get clearance for all the actors in those videos. Cool. Taylor
Bo
Tom
and
says
Jilly
yes.
Pod Promptu Impcast. I like that better.
Bo and Jilly Prod Pomp Omtu Kimpcast.
Hey, faggot, says Squirtle. Hello.
Hi.
He meant me.
I don't know. Could have been any of us. He spelled it wrong. A lot of people spell my name wrong.
We're taking the word back. It would be a P2P stream, peer-to-peer, because that's what Bitwave is. It's a peer-to-peer thing, like BitChute. Have you heard of this? BitChute. If any of you want really great Nazi videos, check out BitChute. Audrey May. Hey, Joe. Audrey May. You think I'm going to overlook this? Billy is a beautiful person, such a sweet boy. Hey, Joe. Audrey May. You don't think I see through you? Hmm?
Did Audrey May say that?
No. Yeah.
When?
Congrats on fatherhood. Audrey May, congrats on my fist in your face.
Why would you say that to Audrey
I'm
May?
not going to hesitate to hit another woman.
Please don't hit another woman.
I swear. Oh, I know what you're saying.
Bitway is done.
You
Bitwave
think
is
I'm gonna
done.
go down easily like your wife did? I know what you're saying.
Oh God.
Huh? I'm not a newborn. You can't
This is
just
so
throw me
rude.
across the room like you do your
So
newborn
rude.
daughter. You can't do that,
So
big
rude.
man. What are you gonna do with me?
So freaking.
I'll get a baseball
You
bat.
can't talk this way to people.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't talk
Little
this
broad.
way.
What do you think of that,
This
Audrey?
is so inappropriate. This is so inappropriate.
You see her being fucking snide?
So Joe and I are gonna
Congrats on
start a.
fatherhood.
Oh my God.
Congrats on fatherhood.
Joe, I think she was being genuine.
Uh-huh.
Joe and I are going to start a Patreon for everybody to subscribe to, and we're going to look at porn and comment on porn on the show. It's called Big Stinkin' Dicks, the podcast, and you guys can all follow there. And we're also going to do 7 other podcasts, one for every day of the week.
Are you lying? What happened?
I might be lying.
Did you just shortwave?
Yeah,
Home
my
Alone?
my
JBM,
body
why
stopped.
are you watching? Why are you mentioning movies?
My body stopped.
Willow, Home Alone. He's just mentioning. If Bitwave received a takedown notice, they would take the stream down, but you wouldn't be banned. The likelihood of the copyright holder seeing the stream is very low.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't we do this yesterday?
I didn't know about it yesterday.
That is, if it was a live film planned event. Personally, if you decide to get together with a group of friends and film it, depends if the group knows how to fake it. Miranda Baldwin, what the fuck are you talking about?
Once again,
Are you still talking about backyard wrestling?
Oh my
You
God.
daft buffoon. That was 3 hours ago. We stopped talking about that. I'm glad you brought it up again. Wrestling
Thank
is
you.
fake.
Thank you,
And you
Miranda.
do plan the event. That's why
Thank
you
you,
do
Miranda.
wrestling.
Thank
That's what
you.
pro wrestling is. I can't
Thank you.
believe it's 2021 and I have to explain professional wrestling to a grown woman.
That's not what this podcast is about. This podcast is about freedom. Cody D says, okay, see you guys on the second podcast. This is a hit. Thank you to our sponsor,
Thank you,
Cody D's.
Thank you, Cody.
Thank you to our sponsor, Cody D's. And thank you to everybody else watching. Joey, do you want to say anything on the way out?
Bitwave allows porn. Attila the Rat has been smashing this chick who's been fisted
That's
more
the
times
that's
than
the
it's
that's
rained
the
since
video we
beginning of
watched
time.
on eFuck the other night. Remember that guy? I was like, this is Attila.
Oh, okay, that's the one.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was on
Now
the front
that's the
page.
kind of streaming I want to do.
Maybe it was Motherless or something.
I wonder if we can get that girl. She was very strange looking. She had no curves to speak of. She seemed almost Asian. Not because she had no curves, but because of her demeanor. Eastern Asian. And I remember she was riding him, and he was looking at the stream and talking. That's what I want to do with my life. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Only liking for Joe.
Good night.
Dylan to pickle.
Good night, everybody. Thank you again for watching.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Great first episode.
Goodbye,
Goodbye.
everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. Happy birthday if it's your birthday. If not, I can't wait till your birthday.
Thank you
Make
for
it happy.
Thank you for
Good
everything.
night.
Goodbye. I'm surprised that Jewel Rancid hasn't